Apparently it's right here.
I can't do it, Dad. She can't.
Okay,
don't want her to
three of you
fall.
on each side.
Yeah, Dad.
Okay, so just take the handles and pass along the next one. We're going to walk straight out and turn around left.
Do you remember my part? Yeah, the file. The man. The hair. They have a bit of mohawk.
Come up there, gentlemen. You're going to have to step on. So be careful. You see where the boards are? Over here, guys. No.
Watch the rug there, guys.
Okay. Be careful to step up on those boards.
Are we stepping?
We're stepping on the wood, I think.
Keep this end down, that end up a little bit, and just walk straight through. You can put it on the rollers. But keep this end down, that end's up. It'll roll off. A little bit? Okay. That's good, thank you all very much. Come on back to me a little bit. That's good, that's nice. The cemetery mill. What's your stack?
Family, if you'd like to come in, those who would like to sit, please do so.
Rabbi, good at it.
Does anyone object if I step back, take off my mask and talk? Is that okay?
That's totally fine. Perfect.
I'd like them to
we
hear
are all
me.
gonna take off the mask.
As we prepare to lower Marsha's casket, I will recite the traditional form of burial called Siduk Hadin, justification of the final decree. And you may know that this prayer is a reminder to us, though I don't think you need a reminder today, that life is so important. It's also a collective prayer that God is merciful to all of you here and all of you watching in as survivors of Marsha's Shore. Sur Tamim Polo Kikol Bracha Mishpat El Emunah V'Yein Avel Tzadik V'Yashar Adonai Natan Adonai Lakach Yehi Shem Adonai Mevorach Urachu Michaper Avon V'Lo Yashchit Meherba Lahashivato V'Lo Ya'ir Kol Chalato. The Lord is given, the Lord is taken away. Praise be God's. If you are familiar with the words of the 23rd Psalm, please join with me in the Old English translation. I think it's somewhat more comforting since we recognize those words so well. If you'd like to join with me, please do so. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. Restoreth my soul. He guideth me on straight paths for his name. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. Thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil. My cup burneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord. expect to be here today. From all that you've told me, you expected Marsha to live many more years. But at the same time, you are flooded today, I know, with memories that link you to her, and even most recently to a 75th birthday party that you have wonderful pictures of, and that is one of the ways to remember her. Jason, you reminded me earlier of a statement by a very well-known man. He said that life must be embraced with open arms. We all know, we take for granted that things go on as usual indefinitely, but it isn't so. And so today you've prepared yourselves as best as you can to see Marsha's flower fade. So that's why one of the messages of this moment is to cherish each moment every day. Change can be abrupt and jolting, as you've learned over these past months. Sometimes it is quieter and more imperceptible, but it is always unexpected. The writer put it this way: I've always known that at last I would take this road, but yesterday I didn't know that it would be today. Jewish tradition speaks of the fact that there are three sounds, scarcely audible as we go about our lives, but these three sounds have tremendous reverberations. The passing of a day, the rain as it falls to the ground, and the soul as it leaves the body. It was David who told me that Marsha's soul was recalled to her Maker. Swiftly, quickly, and imperceptibly, and those waves of grief clearly reverberate over that wide area. Whether to Atlanta, or to Boynton Beach, or to Ellicott City, or to wherever her friends and family reside today, there are waves of grief. Memories of, from what I could read, a formidable person. I would like to honor today your mother, grandmother, and mother-in-law with the words of Proverbs 31, which describes an ideal woman. Some qualities may be comparable to Marsha's, some may not. And I will follow with the second reading, which might be a little bit more realistic. But in both cases, it's an opportunity to pay tribute to her. The Bible says a good woman who can find her, she's worth far more than rubies. So all of you who loved Marsha never lacked. She set good examples, sought satisfying work, embraced her arms with love and kindness. Her son, her daughter, daughter-in-law, son-in-law, grandchildren, relatives near and far, praise her. Many have done well, but you, Marsha, outshine them all. So let's give her credit today, and let her works praise her. David and Jesse, I know, growing up, we learned that our mothers have an incredible influence in our lives, and I think you've all learned that, as I've been told from Marsha. Marsha's had an impact on all of you, as David said, individually and collectively. Many things in your daily lives, I'm told, remind you of her. So there is the second reading I told you that I chose for today, which describes, I think, a little bit more realistically what our relationship with our mothers are, but at the same time reminds us that their legacy is never to be forgotten. It's called My Mother's Song. When I was young, I heard a song I heard no other. I learned the words, I sang along. The song was my mother's. My mother never told me how to sing, she never told me why. She simply sang the song she'd heard when she was young as I. Some of the lines were repeated, some of them were wise. They were mother's Bible and blueprint, they were mother's comfort. Some of them were even lies. I often write my own songs now, but more than now and then I find my mother's voice inside of me, singing the same songs. I think you have learned the hard way the wisdom of John Paul Sartre, the philosopher's statement that people always die too soon or too late. But he said that whenever we do die, our lives are fully complete, and there's a line under it, ready for the summing up. So before I call upon those who will speak about Marsha in the most personal sense, since I'm really just their conduit and representative today, I would like to introduce their words with one other statement, I think from the wisdom of a tradition that Marsha respected and honored over the course of her life. It is said that when we're born, God gives us three names. the names our parents call us, the names our friends know us by. But the most enduring name of all is the name through which only God knows us. Those are the names that really reflect who we are away from the public. And so I've learned from David, and I know he's going to echo these thoughts, that Marsha was stylish, proud, passionate, vivacious, outgoing, curious, opinionated, emotional. Jason, you echo the opinionated aspect too. Emotional, mercurial, exuberant, irascible, volatile, and loving. As David said, a range of adjectives because people are complex. But I think that, as you said, Marsha above all was proud and loving to have such great kids and grandkids. I think there is no better epitaph for a mother. So I'm going to ask those of you who are prepared to speak about Marsha to begin. I think Jessica, you want to go first?
Try to get through this. Can't get through the first line. How do you say goodbye to the most important one in your life? Your mother, my best friend, a wife, a sister, and a daughter. She has taught me to be all those things. Strong, vivacious, beautiful, caring. I feel like I'm echoing you. Stylish, elegant, giving, gregarious, sympathetic, empathetic, and most importantly, loving beyond words. She was witty with a quick comeback of humor and laughter. A constant always by my side. And near whenever and always. A partner in crime to battle the balls with. A walking partner to maintain our figures. And a sounding board to hear my endless vent sessions. My happiest of moments and my darkest times. We love going places together. But most of all, we love the botanical gardens. No matter how many times we saw the same flowers, statues, buildings, it was always different. A different vision and a different view. She loved to hear about her 11 grandsons. Never shy to give advice about every moment in their lives, whether I needed it, wanted it, asked for it, or not. She was such a proud woman, never asking much of others, in fact always giving to those in need in whatever capacity she could. Some of my fondest memories of Mom were her in the kitchen, mixing up some magical yet superbly healthy meal. I don't even know where I am. She would spend endless hours in the kitchen, cutting, sending recipes, and telling me about every new food she found in the various ethnic stores that she was in. There were so many times as a child and an adult I craved her attention, good or bad, just for her to see me, love me, and be proud of me. Although I cannot hear her voice or see her smile, my mother walks beside me as she did before. She understands my fears. She sees my joys. Mom is not visible to be seen with the human eye. I will talk to her in silence and wait for her spirit to reply. I feel the love she has for me and my family. I hear her in my heart. And even though she has left her body, our souls will never be apart. I will miss her. Always. I love you, Mom. Oh, I got that.
remember the first time that I met Marsha, around 1998, when David and I first started dating. I was so delighted and a little blown away by the force of her energy and personality. She was dressed to the nines in a beautiful, colorful outfit and perfectly matching jewelry. Her bracelets jingled and clanked as we walked around David's neighborhood and talked and talked and talked. She was instantly giving of herself. She shared her thoughts and insights in such an open way as if she had known me forever. But Marsha also had a way of listening, with her full attention when someone else was talking, with a genuine curiosity that not many people have. Her love for David and Sid was instantly clear to me as I watched them together. I would find out that her love for her family was fierce, for her mother, who she cared for many years, Sid, David and Jesse, and for all of her grandchildren, for Jason, for me, in recent years for Wilfred, and for countless other friends and family. Hers was not a quiet or restrained love. Marsha's love was bright, loud, passionate. To be loved by Marsha was special, and we were all lucky enough to have her love shine on us. Marsha was a role model for me in lots of ways. She taught me things that my own family could not. Marsha, I'll miss you, and I'll remember you well.
First, I'd like to thank Rabbi Maltzman for being here today, sharing his time and thoughts and words with us. I'd like to thank Torchinsky Funeral Home. I'd like to thank Mount Lebanon for allowing us to partake in this ceremony today, as well as Ira Kohlmeister for allowing those who are not able to be here physically to participate remotely. This would be in keeping with Mom's desire for us to draw strength, energy, and love from one another. A special thanks also to our special friends, our distant family, Rabbi Peter Berg, and Rabbi David Spinrad, whom I've spoken with in recent days. I think I speak for the lot of us when I say I did not think this day would be here so soon. There remains a sense of shock, disbelief, and mystery as to why this has happened. I can't answer all these questions. I can only acknowledge a sense of disbelief and suspended reality that we shared today and that I've picked up from friends, families, and loved ones. Mom, your spirit was strong, your presence larger than life. You commanded attention. One of your final conversations with me about not playing 20 questions and repeating myself was a striking reminder of how you command a room even when bedridden. Your presence in all of our lives was ingrained and profound. Your thoughts and opinions on all matters, great and small, were clearly expressed and considered, for better and for worse. Your love for family was inviolable and underscored your daily interactions. Through the years, your love and pride in the kids and grandkids was clear, either by the pool, the doctor's office, the supermarket. We were somehow woven into the conversation. Tales of each of the grandkids, Julian, Jordan, Jacob, Isaac, and Ariel were always on the front of your mind, as was your love for Jesse and I and our spouses, Carla and Jason, and your brother Ira. Despite the outward manifestation of disease, we were all aware of your inner strength and frankly believed at some level you would shake this off and come back to your old self. This day was supposed to be off in the distant future, and the sense of grief and shock is jarring in its impact. It is as if a wave has crashed, leaving us in your wake. We stand before you as family and friends who knew you and loved you. The stories, anecdotes, and thoughts heard already are testament to that fact. We will carry your memories and your spirit through our children, to our grandchildren. Your sense of style and your lifestyle reflected your spirit and was shared with everyone here today. I hearken back to those glorious Florida years that you and Pop-Up shared on Palladium Way. You showed your kids and grandkids how to live and appreciate the good life. The love you had for each other and Grandma Penn was palpable. That house and those visits were magical memories in our lives. I love that you and Pop-Pop took pride in that Florida spread. I remember the gourds, the fishing pond, the tangled fishing rods, and the VCR mountain, and the bubby ball. I remember the time we spent dominating the pool, the workout room, and going to the beach. I remember the happy hour and the desserts. But again, mainly I remember that you and Pop-Pop took the effort to love one another and be happy companions in marriage. Those were gifted years, and you provided, which many people never seize in their own lives, and should serve as a lesson to us all in living a life well lived. I know you were thinking of Pop-Pop in your final days, and hope your spirit is somehow bound to his now. We also stand before you as simple people, gifted and flawed, impervious and vulnerable, talented and inept. We are simple children of God that share this earth together for a short while. I pray that we share that time with love, communication, understanding, and support for one another. There will be mountains in all our futures, and the time we spend together enjoying the wonderful valley before will help us climb these mountains a bit more comfortably and less isolated. Mom would want us to be loving to one another, to take the time to enjoy what we have together, and just remember to take the time. Mom, I love you for the mother, your grandmother, and friend you have become, and will do my best to carry on your legacy and your wishes. Thank you for the life you have given me.
Following the three very beautiful tributes, I'd like to suggest we take a moment in silent prayer and memory. It might help to close your eyes and conjure up an image of Marsha as you always like to. all's now said and done, the book of life of Marsha Short is fully complete today at the age of 75. And the lyrics of an old song, I think, might well represent her response to 3 tributes today and all the sentiments that are in your hearts. This might in fact be her charge to you today. For all we know, we may never meet again. So before we go, make this moment sweet. We won't say goodbye until the last minute. I hold out my hand, my heart is always in it. For all we know, this may only be a dream. We come, we go, like ripples in a stream. So love each other today. Tomorrow may be good for some. Tomorrow may never come, for all we know. May the memory of Marsha Shore, beloved mother and mother-in-law, grandmother, sister, relative, and friend always be for a blessing. Amen. I will chant the Hebrew memorial prayer, El Malei Rachamim, followed by English translation, and then we will conclude with the words of Mourner's Kaddish. Those of you who are comfortable standing for both prayers, please do so. Malei Rachamim Shelchein Barmomim Hametzei Menucha Nechona Tachat Kanfei Hashchina Malot Kadoshim U'Tehorim Kezohar Harakia Mazhirim Benishmat Haisha Mashel Chali Olama Began Eden Tehei Menucha Tana Bala Rachamim Asti Reha B'Seiter Knafecha Liolamim U'Tzror B'Tzror HaChaim Et Nishmata Adonai Nachalata V'tanuach V'shalom Al Mishkava Nomar Amen. O God exalted, full of compassion, grant perfect peace now in your presence to the soul of Marsha Shore, who has gone to her eternal home. Master of mercy, we beseech you, remember all that was good in Marsha's life. This way her soul will be bound up in the bond of life. God is her portion. And may she rest in peace. Those of you who are tuning in over the airwaves who would like to join us in Mourner's Kaddish with the family here today, please feel free. Yit Gadal, Yit Gadash, Shemei Rabbah, Alma, Ivra, Pirute, Yamlich Malchute. Chayechon, Yomechon, V'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, V'izman Kari, V'imru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach, Li'alam, U'lamei Almaya. Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh. V'yithadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shmei Dekucha, Richu. Ve'ela mimko birchata v'shirata v'tushbechata v'nechemata damiran v'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Useh shalom b'mromav u'ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May God, who makes peace in the heavens, bring peace now to Marsha's soul and spare you, her family, and friends excessive grief and sorrow. To all of you here today in the category of mourners, and those of you looking in, I extend our traditional words of comfort. May God comfort all of you among the mourners of Zion, of Israel, and of all humanity. And as a final act of respect today, in keeping with our tradition of, at least symbolically, assisting in the burial of our loved ones, those of you who would like to come forward to place some earth on the casket, please do so.
Did you go? Yeah, you go first.
There we go.
David goes last. He's older, just so everyone knows.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the service. So thank you all for being here today. Jesse, David,
Can we lay
you
rocks?
guys want to say anything?
Can I put my rocking?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for everybody watching remotely. We know you loved Mom. We know your presence is here with us today. And we look forward to seeing you at happier times again in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm just putting it in baby doll. I have this one too. You won't open it in my pocket. That's breaking my phone. See if I can make it. Yay! One stay at the top. Thank you. I could get my dad. Could get to my dad. Oh my gosh, Jesse, I'm so Marsha was very special. She did treat us well. I know.
And you would think that she has a remote that is in the back of her and get back tights for her.